So today I'm going to share with you one of my favorite recipes for a fresh living corn tortilla. This can be used for tacos, for tostadas, for snacking on. And remember, this is made in the dehydrator. If you don't have a dehydrator, that's okay. You can make it in the oven, set it on the lowest setting, and keep the door cracked open. Keep a good eye on it, because remember, we're not cooking it. We're just trying to dry it out. So I'll be showing you the recipe and the techniques for making it. So come on in a little closer. Let's look at our ingredients. We're going to start with 1 tablespoon of chili powder, 2 tablespoons of freshly ground up cumin, 1 tablespoon of fresh lime juice, 1/8 of a teaspoon of pink Himalayan sea salt, 3/4 of a cup of fresh ground flaxseed, 1½ cups of roughly chopped yellow bell pepper, and 3 cups of freshly cut corn. And I'm going to give you a quick technique for cutting this corn as well. So you take your corn and you want to stand it up, and you want to move kind of slow so you don't get corn all over the place, and just run your knife right down the corn cob. So I've already done the other cups. I just wanted to quickly show you, how you can get the corn right off the cob. And I've tried those corn cobbers. They're really kind of a pain. This is a much easier technique for getting the corn, off the cob. So then there we go. We're all finished with that. So I'm just going to start adding our ingredients now into our food processor, which is what we're going to be using to make this. So we're going to add our corn first. We've got 3 cups of this yummy fresh corn. And I'm going to add what I already cut here as well. So we just want to get that in there. Make sure we get all of our ingredients. We don't waste any. I'm going to put this over here. Our yellow bell pepper. Now here's where I'm going to start to just pulse it up a little bit and start to break those veggies down. We're going to add the remaining ingredients into our mixture here. Now if you want a heartier kind of tortilla, you can let this be a little bit rougher. If you want it a little bit smoother, just keep pulsing. So I'm going to add my sea salt in there. I'm going to add my lime juice, my cumin, and my delicious chili powder. It gives it lots of flavor. And I'm also going to add my flax meal. Now I ground this fresh because that's really important. It kind of goes stale if you don't. So you want to make sure to keep those seeds whole until you're ready to use them. And then we're going to mix it up again. That's good. So here is about the consistency that we're looking for here. I still have it a little bit rough, and you should smell it. It smells delicious. It's got that yummy cumin that I ground fresh. I want to talk a little bit about that also. When I took my cumin, I actually used seeds, and I used my mortar and pestle to grind those up. That way they stay fresher. So if you have something like this, it works really well. Just take it in there and grind it up really well. If you don't have something like this, you can use a coffee grinder, but you want to make sure that you designate that coffee grinder just for your spices. So let's get moving on making the actual tortillas. So here's my dehydrator sheets right here. I have an Excalibur, which is one of my favorite dehydrators, and they have these Teflon sheets that you absolutely need if you're going to be dehydrating things that are a little bit wetter. If you don't have any dehydrator sheets, you can use parchment paper. It will work also, but it's not reusable. So then we're going to just take our mixture here, and our spoon. And we're gonna make these about the size of a small tortilla, and then just kind of start to spread that around. Make sure there's no holes or gaps in it. So spread them nice and evenly. Get a nice size. Here you can see the importance of getting a good consistency for your tortilla shell, so that it's nice to smooth it out and you get a good shell going. I'm putting about maybe 1/4 of a cup, maybe a little bit more than 1/4 of a cup on each one of these. And you can dehydrate these until they're soft, or you can dehydrate them until they're nice and crispy for more of a tostada type of a tostada shell, a tortilla shell. And I should have enough here for maybe about 6 to 8, just depending on, you know, how big I make them and how thick I'm going to make them also. Nope, that's probably a bit too much. So we're just going to round this out. Again, if you want it a little bit heartier, you can blend that corn and that bell pepper just a little bit less, and it'll have little chunks of corn and stuff in it. Just really depends on, you know, what you're into. And that's it. What I'm going to do now is just put these in the dehydrator. So I'm going to walk them right over here. And I'm going to dehydrate these on about 135 for about an hour. Then I'm going to turn it all the way down to 115, and I'll dehydrate them for about another 2 hours. And then I'm going to pull them out and flip them over and dehydrate the backside that will still be a little bit wet for about another 2 hours until I get a nice pliable tortilla, just like a regular tortilla shell would be. So that's it. I'll show you the finished product tomorrow, because I'm going to be making some living fresh taco meat to go inside of